When I was 26 years old, my mom had a heart attack. The person who I saw as the model of health suddenly needed bypass surgery, months of physical therapy, and a new daily regimen. This was the freshest blow of the reality of mortality striking me in the face. The years after graduating college were filled with new experiences, new cities, and new friends. But they were also filled with loss. My uncle unexpectedly passing away. All 3 of my living grandparents dying within a year. All while the world was closing in on itself due to a global pandemic. I felt like the bubble of innocence that had so pristinely been maintained around me suddenly popped. In the speed of a lightning strike, I was reminded of the fragility of life. For those around me, my friends, my family, for myself. If we could die so quickly, why then did it seem to take so long to truly live? When I was 27 years old, I discovered a poem that felt so personal, it felt like something I had crafted myself, lost, and then joyfully rediscovered. Titled The Orange by Wendy Cope, it reads, "At lunchtime, I bought a huge orange. The size of it made us all laugh. I peeled it and shared it with Robert and Dave. They got quarters and I had a half. And that orange, it made me so happy, as ordinary things often do. Just lately, the shopping, a walk in the park. This is peace and contentment. It's new. The rest of the day was quite easy. I did all the jobs on my list and enjoyed them, and had some time over. I love you. I'm glad I exist. I am glad I exist. As beautiful as the momentous occasions are that are tentpoles of our lives, it really is the ordinary little things that I realize I want to lean into. With no promise of tomorrow, no redo of yesterday, just the current present of today, the now. The reminder of mortality had struck a chord in the perspective of my life. I suddenly saw so much more beauty in all of the ordinary things. So I started to sing a little bit louder in the car and at karaoke. I rolled down my windows at red lights to share music with strangers in the cars nearby, and send songs to my friends that remind me of college nights running through cornfields. I started to pick my head up when walking down the street, making eye contact with those passing by. On the way to jobs and lunch with an old friend, to a first date or an audition. On the way to pick out flowers for their apartment coffee table, maybe walking, just for the sake of being outside and feeling the sun on their skin. I started making bigger moves, and smaller ones too. I quit my job and moved to New York City. I call my brother more often now, and take more pictures of flowers I think are beautiful. I use chopsticks more, because they force me to slow down while eating, savoring the meal. I DM my friends book recommendations that make me think of them. I started dancing so much more, sometimes skipping down the street in the morning on the way to work. Other times, dancing so late into the night that it has somehow become the morning. I dance with my friends, strangers, and all by myself. In crowded clubs and on bedroom duvets that turn into gleaming dance floors. I started to do things that scare me. I packed a backpack and solo traveled for weeks in a foreign continent, seeing the countryside of Europe through the blur of a train window. I ate foods I didn't know existed with friends I had just met. I gave myself permission to love deeper, harder, and more authentically. I gave myself permission to be loved. And I started to dream more intentionally. I now dream of summer days on wine-stained blankets, spent laughing and tumbling in the grass. I dream of Thursday nights walking through the city, hopping from bubbling restaurant to quiet bar, to lived-in couches and an unmade bed. I dream of slow Sundays with record players, drizzly rain, and banana pancakes. I dream of the pitter-patter of little feet on wooden floors and small voices that grow. I dream of sandy days spent on the water, sun-kissed and grateful. And I dream, and I dream, and I dream. I have learned that I can't say when I turn 28, because that is not a day that I am promised. But if I turn 28, I hope that it is a day full of enjoying the little things, just as every day will have been to get me there. Until then, I sing and I dream and I dance. I eat, hug, and move with joy. And I share my oranges with strangers and friends, living for the ordinary things.